Hey everybody, it's me, Sina Ale, and I'm back after a fairly long hiatus. I have been busy. Um, I ended up having COVID um, and dealing with long COVID, and that has impacted my life somewhat a lot. Never stopped collecting decks. However, working has been a bit of a thing. I've learned how to letter for comics. Um, Started editing comics. So life has been a bit unique, to say the least. But I'm trying to get back to where I was before with um, doing some readings, trying to get some stuff done, and bringing you some of the um, decks out there that are really somewhat easy to get. Some will not be. They may be on Kickstarter. They may be specialized, but I want you to be able to see decks that may intrigue you. And the first one is by Inna Segal, and Inna. I love her stuff. I've collected almost all of her decks but one, and I'm gonna end up getting that deck as well. Um, this is the Heal Yourself reading cards by Rockpool. So first things first, let me show you that it is a magnetic closure. So, and I love this. I love this design on here. That little, it's sturdy. I love this because it just makes it easier to really get into it. The cards are a little bit bigger than most, so you do end up having that kind of a feel for it. Um, the other thing is with this deck is that you do have your book, which I do enjoy, and the books do come with color pictures, and then the sides, which you have the information, and then you have an action. And the action is really nice. It says, find a photo of you as a child between the ages of 3 and 8. Look at the picture. What do you see? What is your expression? What would they say to you? Take some paper and using your non-dominant hand write, "Dear," your name. I feel it gives the little you a chance to express itself. Then write a loving response from the adult you. Ask the child in you what he or she needs to feel better. Then follow the child's recommendations. So the nice thing about this Heal Yourself deck, and I have to admit, I had put this set off. I have been trying to get it for quite some time. This was a set that I wanted because it was more about healing. It was more about insight to your life. It was about magnifying who you are, what you are, and about what you can use to really become more of yourself. So I really wanted to focus on those, and these cards are really, really great for that. So you have things like entrapment, pride, which reminds me so much of Hella, alchemy, inner child, sadness, rejection, cycles, healing, selling out, dreams, love, wild, home, temptation, phoenix rising. I love that one. It's one of my favorites. Discover your life purpose. Beauty, which is also on the cover. Patience. Pay attention to signs. Sexual arts. Self-love. Letting go. Have faith. Help from above. A hole in the soul, which soul retrieval is really good about. Take off your masks. Courage. Self-sabotage, which many of us are guilty of. Sexuality. Family and tribe. A soulmate. A victim consciousness. Some of us have that. It has to be overcome. How teachable are you? Procrastination. Unleash your creativity. Say what you mean. So, I want to do this reading, since I'm getting back into this with many of you. I want to do a reading that basically allows you to see something that you need to heal and work on. Something that you've probably been better on. And something that you really kind of need to believe in yourself, that you are doing well. Because that's something that we don't give ourselves credit for. So let's take a look at that as well. Alright. So let's do this. One thing about these decks is that because they are a little wider and longer, that if you riffle shuffle, it's a little harder to do. So you may have to side riffle shuffle to work a little bit better. But they are fairly sturdy. So let us take a look at this. The first thing we want to deal with is pride. Pride in reverse. So one thing that a lot of us deal with is that we have trouble believing in ourselves. We don't have enough pride in our work. Sometimes we have unhealthy pride. And that's for a very small amount of you. But overall, most of us, we don't have enough self-worth. We don't have enough pride. We don't have enough, and I mean healthy pride, not that unhealthy shit. We don't have enough feeling of worthiness or where we believe in ourselves. And that's something we have to work on, because it's a dichotomy in our lives where people tell us that we should believe in ourselves. We should be able to brag about the accomplishments we have, but then at the same time they think, well, why do you sound so full of yourself? And it's a really fine balance, but there's a difference between being proud of what you've done versus being overly boastful. Oh, look what I've done. You know, I'm better than anyone else. And that's where it lies. There's a difference in saying, hey, look, I finally finished this, or hey, I completed this all, and I've done really well in it because everybody seems to be really enjoying the work I've done. That's pride. Boastful is, oh, I'm the best in this area, la 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 la. That's boastful. That's super pride. That is over pride. The other thing we need to talk about is selling out. Many people during COVID, during the past year and a half, have talked about others selling out, not taking care of themselves or being sensitive enough to others. Oh, they sold out. Oh, they, didn't wear their masks, or they sold out to to our employers. But you also think about selling out to yourself. Did you sell yourself out too much? Did you sell yourself out by saying, oh, I don't have to do this, or did you sell yourself out too early by basically not doing the things you need to do? By basically selling yourself short. Selling out happens on a personal level a lot, especially for those who do not have good self-esteem. We sell ourselves out because we give up our worth. So we sell out because we sell short. And that's something that we need to be careful of. So pay attention to that. Which basically comes to this part. Pay attention to the signs and see how she has the light in her hand, how she's looking around. You need to pay attention to the signs of yourself. Being self-aware means that you are paying attention to the things around you. Seeing for what you're truly worth. Seeing the fact that you are somebody. If you're alive, if you are here, you are worthy of being treated well. Now, does that mean that you have the ability to be an ass? No, nobody should be an asshole. Does that mean occasionally you may act like one? Of course it is. Of course we do. But it doesn't mean that we can't self-correct. That our friends can't tell us, hey, look, you're acting like an ass right now. And we don't self-correct, and we don't pay attention, and we do things better. We do. People make mistakes. We all do. It's what you do when you pay attention to those signs and correct yourself that things get better. So that's important. The other thing is patience. Things don't change instantaneously for ourselves or for others. And it doesn't matter how much a person's changing, they're going to fall, including yourself. The biggest thing is that after you fall, you pick yourself up and you try again. But don't give the excuse that, oh, I can't help myself, oh, I can't help it, I'm trying, so you have to forgive me. No. Don't give excuses like, oh, you have to forgive me because I'm trying. No, they don't have to forgive you for trying. You made a mistake. I am so sorry. I'm trying and I'm getting better at this, and the mistakes are getting less and less. What can I do to make it better? Repeat that. What can I do to make it better? I know I've made a mistake. I've been working on this particular problem. What can I do to make it better? Patience is key, whether it be when you have patience for other people or for yourself. What can I do to make it better? The other thing is entrapment. This card is important because sometimes our entrapment is from others, but sometimes we trap ourselves. We think that we can't get out of shit because it's impossible. We think we're limited because we won't have money, or it's an impossible situation, or whatever we're doing is just not going to happen. And that's not true. Okay? If you believe you're entrapped, if you believe you are trapped in whatever situation at all, whether it's your making or somebody else's, then you trap yourself further. But you can get out of any trap by planning, by doing the things that you need to do to get better, having patience, paying attention to the signs. Don't sell out. Part of being entrapped is selling out, giving up, by not having enough pride, not having enough wisdom to be able to do the things that you need to do. Being entrapped means that you have a hole in your soul that needs to be repaired. A lot of times shamans will tell you that you need to have a soul retrieval. which will help you to regain that piece of yourself that you've lost. That's what a hole in the soul is. And by finding that piece that you're missing, because maybe you gave it to somebody you love that you lost, or somebody that hurt you, that helps to heal that piece of you that's missing. This is important because if you heal that piece of you, you can break out of those traps, because traps are sometimes the same behavior you repeat every time something happens. You fight with your best friend over the same shit every day. Like a friend of mine says, it's the same shit every day. It's the same shit, different day. When you heal yourself, when you start realizing certain triggers happen, you start changing how you relate to those triggers. You become more proactive. You become less likely to lash out at those things. So then it becomes same shit, different reaction. And people are like, oh, why are you doing this? You walk out of the trap, and then they try to force you back. But if you don't go, then they have to change their reaction to you. And suddenly you're out of that trap. You get out. You choose to do what you want. So don't self-sabotage. That's a biggie. Don't walk yourself back into it. Don't get so far where you're getting better and better and then say, oh, I can't go any farther because if I do this, then I have to change my whole life. Then I have to face the fact that I may fall. Well, yeah. Well, shit, you're human, and humans fall, and yeah, whoop-de-doo. You may make a mistake. Oh my God, what will you do? Dudes, we all fall. We all make mistakes. Get your ass back up and get going. Part of being human means that we have to face those fears. But it doesn't mean that you sabotage yourself. It doesn't mean that, oh, I can't get over this hump. We all have ups and downs. Nothing is ever 100% high. Nothing is 100% low. We have a tendency to forget the good and remember only the bad. And we happen to have a 100% tendency to see everybody else's good and not their low. So we can't sabotage ourselves over this. We have to be realistic. So the biggest thing that this reading does is it reminds us to be real. It reminds us that we have to heal those parts of us that may be too prideful, that may cause us to think less of ourselves, to be self-sabotaging, that maybe we're not watching our paths as much as we should, that we need to be a little bit more watchful of what we do and what we say, that we need to make sure that we don't let anybody else entrap us, that we need to make sure that we don't entrap ourselves, and to be bold, to be graceful. And it's okay that we're human. So until next time, Bendithian.